So you mentioned anti-aging telomeres, right? That's the reason we age. And there is an enzyme, I believe it's called telomeresis or something that goes back and fixes that telomere tail. Is there a way that they can recreate to continue fixing that tail, or would that just lead to an ongoing cancer?
No. I wouldn't say it'll lead to an ongoing cancer, but those telomeres are basically like telomeres, So what happens is that these strands, they just shorten. It's the caps to your DNA. They shorten over time. They can accelerate in shortening, or they don't. You can kind of slow it right down. Major reasons why people accelerate their biological age is, again, lack of sleep. It's stress, bad foods, bad lifestyle, higher cortisol levels. Cortisol in hormetic responses, like if you get in an ice bath, if you get in a sauna, if you go for a sprint, those are all good. When it becomes systemic, that is bad. So that's why, of course, stress is a leading cause of heart disease. And that will lead to the onset of early aging. So, there's various ways you can measure your biological age. It can be telomeres, it could be methylation, it could be the Horvath clock, it could be glycans, like glycan age is a test for that. So I like to do a couple of those tests every year to ensure that I'm going in the right direction. Because when I started doing them in 2015, when I said I wasn't sleeping much, my biological age was 4 years more than my chronological. But I've been able to reduce it every single year now. So my last test that I did at the beginning of this year was 20 years old biologically, even though I'm 52 this year. So it takes a lot of work. Like I said, sleep is that you do have technology and biohacks. These lights will raise my cortisol, so I'm blocking a little bit with my blue lights. The shoes that I'm wearing are grounding shoes, so I'm earthed. I'm taking in the negative ions as much as possible because the EMF and the Wi-Fi is all positive charge. That's not good for us. We need the negative charge, so we need to counterbalance it. Like the phone cover that I've got in this fanny pack, they're all made of Faraday, so it blocks a lot of the EMF exposure that I'm wearing on me, from my phone, from my device. Now, these may seem a little bit obsessive to some, but I like obsessing over it. It isn't an obsession to me now because it's kind of second nature, but I want to feel good when I'm in my 90s, when I get to 100 years old. I want to still seek adventure and be able to hike, be able to work out. My idea of life is just collecting this museum of memories, and I can't do that without my health, so I'll do whatever I can in this changing environment to prevent the onset of that accelerating age from a biological standpoint. And that's why I always tell people age only matters on your driver's license.
Yeah.
And that's it.